Hello everyone, welcome to the second part of the data analysis with the Pandas. So students, in this video mainly we are going to discuss about the statistics part. So while using the analysis in the data analysis, statistics is playing a great role. So today we are going to understand some of the functions in the Pandas related to the statistics. So I have already inserted a dictionary here that we are going to convert it into the data frame. I have already inserted here so that we can save our time. So before starting our today's session, I would like to explain all of you about the uh, statistics first. Then we are going to discuss what are the topics which we are going to cover in this video, and then we will start using this data set and we will be discussing a lot of statistics functions. So in this video, the main topics which we are going to cover, that is descriptive statistics, aggregation, sorting of data, as well as group by of data, indexing of data, pivot and pivot table also we are going to discuss, and missing values, which is one of the major tasks or a problematic scenario while doing the data analysis. So these are the topics which we are going to cover in our today's video. So first of all, let me hide this. So yes, first of all, we will be discussing about the statistics. So students, statistics is a branch of mathematics in which we are dealing with the collecting of the data, organizing it, analyzing it, then interpreting it, and how we are going to represent the data after doing some sort of like analysis part. After collecting, organizing, and analysis, how we are going to represent the data. So mainly these type of operations we are dealing with in statistics part. There are two types of statistics: inferential statistics and descriptive statistics. In descriptive statistics, we are dealing with like calculating the average. Mainly we are dealing with the data. We are not making any prediction here. But inferential statistics is a part of where we are making prediction on the basis of the sample data. As well as you can say, like, if I would like to explain both of the statistics with example. So descriptive statistics is just like calculating the age of a average age of students in a class. And uh, the example of the inferential statistics, it can be like we can predict who will win in the election, prediction of the weather forecasting. So these are the two types of the statistics in which in descripting we are dealing with calculating mean, mode, and median, and in the another one we are making the predictions like the hypothesis testing, regression. So that is a part of the inferential one. So today our main focus will be dealing with the descriptive statistics. Then we will be discussing by aggregation, sorting, group by, indexing, pivot and pivot table, and missing values. So first of all, let me explain you what I have imported here. As in the previous video, we have already discussed that for using the library, first we have to import it. So I have already imported this import pandas SPD, and here I have inserted one dictionary, and I have stored this dictionary in with the name of marks ut. So here I want to plot this, I want to convert this dictionary into the data frame now. So these keys will be the column here, and whatever the values which we have stored in these keys, those values will be stored as a data. Let's check first and then I will explain it to you. Let's take variable df pd dot data frame marks ut and then print df. So now as you can see, I have converted this complete dictionary into the data frame. So in this video, we are going to deal with this data set most of the time. So before that, let's read or understand the data set. So here we are having name of students, UT, mathematics, science, SST, Hindi and English. So we are having the UT marks here. So in UT1, so we are going to deal with, there are 3 UT, marks of 3 UT, UT1, UT2 and UT3, and we are having here 4 students, Raman, Zuhair, Ashrave and Mishti. So we are having here we are having 4 students, those who have appeared in 3 UT, UT1, 2 and 3, and these are the marks of them. So now I hope everyone understood about this data set. So now the very first which we are going to discuss, the very first program, that is to finding the maximum values in each column. Maximum values in each column. So how we will find it? We will just use the max function, print max data frame dot max, and then just run it. So as you can see, for the Zuhair, the UT is the third one. So as you can see, yes. So name is Zuhair here, and in the UT, the maximum value we are having is the 3 only. In mathematics, the maximum value which we are having is 24. In the science, the maximum marks anyone has scored, that is 25. So here we are having 25. So by running the max function with the data frame, we can calculate the maximum values from each and every column from the data set. So now if you want to ignore the text based columns, like if I want to ignore this Zuhair, I want only the numerical ones. So how we can print? We can use this print data frame max. Inside this we can pass the parameter that numeric only, and we can set it for true. As you can see, earlier it was, the name was also showing Zuhair. So I wanted to ignore it because I wanted to check the maximum values in each column where the numerical data is there, not the text based data. So you can pass this as a parameter inside the max function, that I want only the numeric only and then true. So let me give a comment here also, so that it will be easy for you to remember that numeric only ignores text column. So now let's calculate according to row wise also, because till now we have calculated the maximum value according to the column wise. So maximum marks of each row. So for that, let's print df max, and here we are going to pass the axis is equal to 1, just to specify only that we want only uh, the row, because for the column there is no such need to specify it. If you want to specify, then you can specify the column axis is equal to 0. So to specify for the row, we have to pass this parameter that we want the maximum value from each row. Then let's ignore the, because we have to ignore this column also, otherwise it will throw an error, because we want to calculate the maximum marks from each row, and I want to ignore this column, the name one. So I will write numeric only true. So now as we are having the value, maximum value from each row. So now let's count the minimum value. So for the minimum value, we are going to use the minimum function only. So let's calculate here only. Let me copy this complete one. Minimum marks, and here we are going to use minimum function. So these are the minimum values and these are the maximum values, as you can see here. Same here also, you can pass for the column one also. Minimum marks of each column. So just change the max with minimum, and here you will get the minimum marks and here you will get the maximum marks. So this is how you can analyze that in which row and column we are having the maximum value or minimum value. So you can take any data set and you can apply these functions there. So now let's count the, now I would like to display according to the condition. Like if I want to find out maximum marks in each subject for UT2. I want to find out that in unit test 2, what was the maximum marks anyone has scored. So print, then let's take the variable here UT2 data frame, then again data frame we will take, and inside this we will pass UT, and here is equal to 2. So before running this, first we have to understand that this there I have used two times here this df variable. In this df variable, I have stored the complete database which we have already discussed in the beginning. This database. So in this database, like for this column, unit test 2, and as well as for this one, as well as for this one, and for this one. So I want to calculate the maximum marks. So, but I have used two times here this data frame. So first one is that this the original data frame from which I am taking this as a column, and this the outer loop one, that is the outer one, this data frame I am choosing here, that the updated value will be displayed in this data frame. So let's print UT2. So now as you can see from the UT2, Raman has scored, these are the maximum marks. Zuhair, these are the maximum marks. Ashwarya, these are the maximum marks, and Misty, these are the maximum marks. So now let's find the maximum one. Data frame. Let's take the variable here ut2, then max. Inside the max, we have to ignore the text based column. This one will retrieve the complete unit 2 data. Now we will find out the maximum out of it. So these are the maximum marks. As you can analyze now, that this one we are having the data set of the unit 2, and from the unit 2 the maximum marks of in math is 24, science in as a 22, and SST is 25. In Hindi also it is 25, and in English also it is 24. So this is how we can analyze according to the UT2 also, unit 1 also, as well as the for unit test 3 also. So now let's discuss maximum marks of a particular student. Now we have just discussed according to the UT. Now we will discuss according to student. So maximum marks of a particular student. So here also we will apply the condition. We will apply the filter here. Let's take the variable that data frame. Let's count for the Misty. So 2 times we are going to use this data frame. Inside this we will pass that from the name column. Name will be Misty, and then let's print df Misty. So these are the marks of the Misty. So now we will calculate the maximum marks. So for the maximum, just use this dot max here. We are not going to use this max here. Max, and then bracket close, and now we will run this. So as you can see, these are the marks of the Misty in unit 1, unit 2, and unit 3. But I wanted to find out the maximum marks. So in math, she has scored 18. In science, she has scored 22, and in SST, she has scored a 25. Same in Hindi, and in English, she has scored 23. So this is how you can find out the maximum marks or the minimum marks according to the particular student, according to the row wise, column wise, as well as according to the particular unit test also. It's not about that from this data set only in this way you have to calculate. I'm just telling you the use of functions, the descriptive statistics functions like finding maximum, minimum according to condition. We will be discussing about finding the mean, median also, as well as the standard deviation also, variance also. So you can take any data set, and then according to your choice, according to your specification, your need, you can find out and you can apply these functions there. So now we are going to work on aggregation. So let's discuss that total marks in math. So I want to calculate the total marks in math from this data set. So print this sum function, we are going to use it here. So let's find out. So these are the total marks of mathematics. So this was the data set. If you are going to add all these marks, you will get it for the mathematics. Or you can just write here that total marks of maths. because whatever you are going to write inside the inverted commas, it will display as it is. So now let's calculate the total marks of a student, because we have calculated according to the column wise, because this math was the complete column here. This math data was the complete column here. Now I want to calculate according to the particular student according to the row wise. So now let's calculate for the Raman. Total marks of Raman. Take one variable here with name of Raman only, then data frame, then again data frame, then inside this we will pass as a name, then we will set the condition or that we want the data set of Raman only, then print, and then df Raman. And now let's print it. So these are the marks, but we want to calculate the total marks. So again we will use print, then you can write here the total marks, of Raman, and here you can write data frame Raman, as you can see here also. And now let's run it. So the total marks of Raman is 57 of maths only, and this is how you can calculate for all the subjects. Like you can calculate for the science also, for SST also, for Hindi also. Just copy this, paste, and here you can just change according to the column wise, that science, SST, here Hindi, and here English. So these are the total marks. You can also specify here by writing this, that the total marks of Raman in maths, total marks of Raman in science, like this. So you can update it here also, like in science, in SST, in Hindi, in English. So this is how you can run it, and you can find the maximum marks according to the particular student, and according to the you can aggregate the marks according to the row wise also. So now let's calculate the total marks per unit test. Total marks per unit test, and we will be doing row wise sum. So now let's print for Raman data frame. We will take off Raman only, then let's calculate for maths, then science, then what was the name here, SST, because the Python is a case sensitive language, so you have to be very cautious while writing the keywords here. Now we want to do the sum of these, all of these. And sum according to row wise, if we want to do so, we will pass the value here, x is equal to 1. So now let's try to run this. So it will throw an error because it will consider this is a list key. So we can pass one more time here, that is square bracket. Now let's try to run this again. So now as you can see, we are having the values here that we have done according to the x is 1. We have done the sum of unit test, all three unit tests of math, science, SST, Hindi and English. So the sum has been calculated like this for Raman. First this one for 0, 1, 2, as you can see the indexing here. For unit test 1, unit test 2 and unit test 3. So I hope it is clear for calculating according to the per unit test also. So now let's calculate the total number of entries. Count number of entries, or you can say count number of values in each column. That how many values are entered in particular column, so that we will be able to know that how big data set it is. Otherwise you can once, as we have already discussed in the previous video also, that once you will plot the data set from the CSV file, and when you will print the data set, it will already show, it will show that how many rows and columns are there. Otherwise you can check with the data frame info or data frame describe also. That also we are going to discuss for, but first let's count the number values in each column. But that will display only the rows and column. But now we will calculate the total number of values in particular columns, which means how many entries are there in particular column. So for that you can just print a data frame, then we can use the count function here, and now let's print it. So these are the total number of values in each column. In each column we are having 12 values because there are 4 students and 3 unit tests. So 4 into 3 we are having 12 values in each column. Otherwise you can find out according if you will run the info also dataframe.info and dataframe.describe, because they will show you as output that how many rows are there. So according to the rows, that will be the, you can easily identify that how many values will be there, because row which means how many values has been entered or how many records are there. So this one we have calculated in each column. So now let's calculate for count number of values in each row. So for row, what you can do is that data frame dot count, we can pass the axis here, and axis is equal to 1. And these are the maximum entries or the values in particular row, because one was of the unit test 1 and 2, one was of the name, and five subject was there. So total 7 entries are there in each row and 12 entries in each column. So this is how also we can check about the data set. So now let's calculate the mean, or we can say the average marks. So whenever it will be discussed like average, it means we are talking about mean function. So let's run that. I want to calculate marks of each column. I want to calculate the average, basically average of each column. So print df, then mean, and then just run it. It will calculate the average of the names also. So we will write here that no, we want to ignore the text. So you can just pass this parameter as we have already discussed, numeric only true. Now it will show us the output. like as you can see here. So this was the average of the unit test 2. There is no such need. So for the maths, average is this, science average is this, SST average is this, and Hindi and English and so on. So now let's calculate the average marks of a particular student according to student. So let's calculate the average marks of Zuhair. I think this was a spelling in each test. So for this, let's take the data frame of Zuhair, then data frame, outer one, then inner one, then we will specify that name, we will give the condition that student name is Zuhair. Now let's take one more variable here, that we want to calculate marks of Zuhair, that data frame, I want to calculate all the average of all the marks. So let's print marks first, then print marks mean, and axis is equal to 1, because I want to calculate according to the row wise. Otherwise it will give me an output according to the column wise. So these were the marks of Zuhair. Like in math, he has scored 20 in unit 1, 23 in unit 2, 22 in unit 3. So these were the marks from all 5 subjects. And first I have displayed the marks only. Then I wanted to calculate the mean according to the axis. So this was the mean of this complete one is 20.4, and the mean of this one is 19.8. If you want to calculate it according to the particular column wise also, then there will be no such need of to pass the axis one. Like if you want to calculate the mean of maths only, so what you can do, you can just remove all these subjects and remove this axis one, and then you will get the mean or the average marks of the maths of Zuhair. So now let's discuss the median also. For median, you just have to pass the value. Let's calculate for the complete data frame that median values. So for this, you just have to print df dot median and then pass this. Again, it will throw an error because of the textual based data. So yes. So this is the median values in math, in science, in SST, in Hindi, and in English. Or we can say median values, the middle value, which we can say mean average we have calculated, and this one is for median. And same in the same way we will be calculating, that is for the mode also. Mode, which means a value which is appearing the most, mode of Hindi marks. So let's calculate print df, we have to specify Hindi, then Hindi is equal to, we have to calculate the mode only. So let's calculate the mode in Hindi marks. So that is 24. So the 24 is the marks of we can say the mode from here in the Hindi. So as you can see, 24 is appearing one time, and second time is here, one time, second time, and here we can see third time also. So this is the most frequent or the repeating value. So if you want to check any frequent or the repeating value, so you can check by the mode also. If you want to check it from the complete data frame, so just no need to pass this Hindi. You can remove it and then just run this mode, and you will get the mode of complete data frame. So now we are going to calculate the variance of subjects. So for calculating the variance of subject, let's print data frame. Let's pass all the subjects here. We have to pass it. Science, SST. Don't forget to pass inside the inverted commas because these are the textual based data. So we have to calculate the variance. So for variance, the formula is VR. The function is VR, sorry. So list object has attribute variable. We have done any okay, syntax error it was. Now let's run. Closing parenthesis. So this one's supposed to be here. So now as you can see, this is how we can calculate the variance of math, science, SST, Hindi and English. So in the same way you can calculate for the standard median also. I will just copy and paste here just to save my time. So now let's calculate the standard deviation and here we will pass for this STD. So this is how you can calculate the standard deviation STD. This is the function for calculating the standard deviation. So now we are going to discuss about the descriptive summary of this data frame if you want to check. So let's write descriptive summary of data frame. So the syntax is very simple, just print df dot describe and then pass this. So this is the complete descriptive summary. Descriptive summary, as I already told you in the beginning of this session, that there are two types of statistics, and in statistics we are dealing with organizing, collecting, organizing, analyzing, interpreting and presenting the data. And in descriptive, mainly we are dealing with the descriptive part of the data, like calculating the average, mean, mode, median. So if you want to calculate in one go, like if you want to count the values, how many values, how many entries are there in this particular column, 12 entries in each column, as you can see. This is the mean of this column, standard deviation, minimum. This is the quartile, which means the 25% of the first part, then the 50%, that is the unit test 2, and that is the 75%, that is the third part, and this one is the maximum one. So in this one you can calculate the maximum one. So this is how this is the describe. And let me explain you the difference between describe and info. If you want to check regarding the data frame, mainly we are using these two, but this one will not give you the statistics part, all these details, but this one can give you the statistics part, all these details. So this is a basic difference between these two. As you can see here, this will give you that how many columns are there, the column names, any null value is there or not, what is the data type of this. So there are two separate use of these two, like info and describe. So you can use both of it just after uploading the CSV file in your Python program, or once you have created the data frame, because after running these two commands only, it will give you a brief analysis of your data set, that how many columns are there, what are the name of the column, how many entries are there, as well as how many non null values are there, and what are the data types. And it will show you that you are having 12 entries, you have 7 columns, as well as if you want to check the statistics part, then you can run the describe. So I hope it is clear to all of you. Now let's discuss the sorting part. Let's sort by name. All the students, we will sort it by name. So let's print df dot sort. I want to sort the values by name. Age we are not having, so let's do it by name. Okay, so name, well, key is the n is capital here. So as you can see, now the Aishwarya is the first one, Misty here and Raman here and the Zuhair here. But earlier Raman was at the top, then all other were in the series. As you can see, like the original data frame, Raman was here, Zuhair was here, Ashravi was here, and Misty was here. So now we have sorted according to the name. So now let's sort it according to the condition. The condition I want to give is that sort science marks in UT2. So in UT2 only, according to the science marks, I want to sort it. So let's take the variable UT2, then data frame, I have applied the condition here, that is UT2, and then I want to print what I want to print, this variable I will choose here, then I want to sort the values by science. So now let's run this. As you can see, we have sorted according to the UT2 only and according to the science. As you can see here, the science marks are updated 15, 20, 21, 22. In the same way, you can sort. If you want to sort for the other subjects, you can easily sort it. So now let's sort all of the values in descending order. This time let's take the unit test 3 marks. Let's sort English. Let's take the English marks also. English marks in unit 3 in descending order. Data frame, let's take unit 3, and here let's apply this, that I want to sort, then values I want to sort it by English subject as well as ascending, because by default it will sort it according to the ascending. So now I will pass the value here, that is false, that because I want to display according to the descending order. Let's run ascending order also. First let's run in the ascending order. Ascending order, and for ascending we will not pass any value here. Let's delete this part, and now let's run this. So as you can see, these are the in the ascending order, the marks are wait a minute. So these are the we have applied for the English one, right? So as you can see, these are in the ascending order 13, 20, 23, 23, and here in the next output what we are having, let's run in the another one so it will not create any confusion. So these are the ascending order, as you can see here, that 13, 20, 23 and 23. And now let's check according to the descending order, and now let's run. So according to the descending order, we have to pass this as a parameter, that ascending false, because by default there is no need to pass ascending is equal to true. It will by default it will show according to the ascending order. For descending we have to pass this ascending is equal to false, then it will display maximum first, then the lowest one in the last. So now we are going to use that group data by student name. Now we are going to use this function that is group by. In this one, what I want to do, I want to group data by student name. Like I want to calculate the total marks of particular student scored in any particular subject. So this is how I can do it. So now let's take a variable like g1, then data frame dot group by according to name I want, n is capital. Then now let's print g1 dot first. Yes. Why I have passed this value as a first here? If I will not pass this value, then it will display all the unit test like UT1, UT2, and unit 3. Everyone's first record it will display like according to the name UT1 only of all the students. So according all the students, as we can see, we have calculated the data here. So this is how we can group by. We can take the specific data out of the complete data set. Like if you want to calculate the size of this, then you can just print, let's g1 then size. There's a spelling error, size. So as you can see, this is the size that how many records we are having. We are having this is the size of 3: Ashwarya, Misty, Raman and Zuhair. So this is the size. So now let's calculate the mean marks per unit test. Regarding the mean, we have already discussed, so I don't think so. I don't think so that there will be need to discuss all such. So now let's reset the index, because as you can see, let me print the data frame again. Then we will be able to know how is it looks like. Raman is here, Zuhair is here, Misty is here. Let me use this one. We have sorted according to the names now. So now let me change it. Let's take a variable here v, and then let me pass this. So now let's print v. So this is the data frame I have sorted according to the name wise. But now as you can see, the index has been changed here. So now let's reset the index of this. So let's take the variable ri for resetting the index. First let's write reset the index. So for resetting the index, let's take the variable ri, then just write data frame, then one more time data frame, and according to ut, let's so reset it according to the ut one, then one only, then data frame, let's take ri reset index and in place to, which means it will change the original one which is already existing. Now let's print ri. So as you can see, the index has been changed. Like if you want to change it according to the name, so we can do it according to the name also. So no need to pass the condition here. Now let's change it. Okay, for resetting the index, there must be, like as you can see, we are having these names here, so there will be an issue. So we can pass it according to the, let's check for the unit 2 also. Mm, 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 mm. Let's change the I forgot to write this one. So as you can see, because earlier it was showing the error because we have included this name one. So for resetting the index, we have to choose the particular one, like according to the marks and all, we can do it from the numerical aspect. So if you want to set the index, now let's, if you want to set according to the name, if you want like name as index. So let's take this data frame, or let's take uh, the another variable here. Let's do let's make some changes in this data set only. Like I want to change this index. Variable we are having, that is ri dot set index. I want to set, let's set it according to the name wise. In place to, what is the actual use of in place? In place will update the values in this particular data set only. It will not give you the new data set, new data frame. So as you can see here, I have updated, now index is here, and as the index I have updated these names here. So now these names as I have set according to the index, and this one will show because earlier we were having two index here, because first we have reset the index. Earlier one we were having this one 1478. So as you can see, uh, Raman ut2, where it was Raman ut2 was 1, so it was showing 1. Zuhair ut2, it was showing 4, so 4 was here. But we have reset the index, so that's why it was coming 0 1 2 3, and now we have set according to the name. So now let's discuss about the pivot table, as this is the one of the major feature which we usually use in the Excel. Pivot table example. So first we have to understand about the pivot. So pivot is a basically a data analysis part. We can say that we modify the data, or we view the data in different perspectives, so that we can analyze it better. And in the table perspective, let's discuss first. Let's store the data here. First of all, let's take a dictionary here. In dictionary, let's take the variable that store, and now let's start storing the value s1, s2, then s3, then s4. I think let's pass this as a in the list here. Yes, pass the another as a key value pair, that is year again, then 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. Now let's store one more here as a total sales. So the total sale was 1000 rupees, 1200, 1400, 2000. So this is the dictionary I have stored. Now let's convert this. Let's take the data frame 2, then pd dot data frame, and now let's convert this into data frame. So I have converted that we are having 4 stores here, and there and in these 4 years this was the sale we were having. So now let's discuss in the terms of pivot. Data frame 2 dot pivot. Now let's make it index as a store, column as a year, and values as a total sale. So in 2022, total sale values and total sale. Yes. So as you can see here, so this was the thing which I was telling you in the pivot, like viewing the data from different angle, from different perspective. Like in this one, earlier one, we were having this view that store S1, S2, S3, and S4, and index was this, that was the by default. Whenever you will convert the dictionary any CSV file into the data frame, so you will get this index by default. But I wanted to change this index as a store here. So store one, now it is a index S1, S2, S3, S4, and the column I wanted to choose it according to the year. Then the values which I want to represent, that is of the sales only. So as you can see, in the S1 store, we are having the sale in the 2022, that was the 1000 rupees. We were not having the sale in 2022. We were not having the sale in for store 2, 3, and 4. Then in 2023, we had a sale of 1200 for store 2. We were not having the sale of store 1, store 3, store 4. So for changing the perspective of viewing the data from different angle, that's why we are using the pivot. So now we will be discussing the major or important part, that is the handling missing values. So for this, now let's import the numpy as np, because handling the missing values we will be in need of the numpy library, because it makes our calculation bit faster. So let's store the data first. Let's create a new data frame here for this. Name. Let's pass Raman. Let's take Raman only. Raman. Raman. So another column which we want to store, that is UT, marks of Raman. UT marks, that is UT will be of 1, 2, 3, and 4 UT. Now let's store the maths marks. Maths marks 22, 21, 14, then np.nan, which means missing value, not a number. Let's store for the English marks. Let's take 12, 45, 12, or 13. Take np.nan here, and then 10. I think that's enough. Now let's convert this into data frame 3. Now let's convert into data frame, and now let's run this. So as you can see, we are having not a number, we are having here, that is a missing value. So how we can handle it? So basically there are few methods in the data analysis part or the data handling part. What we can do is that either we can take the average of rest of this and we can use it here, that we can calculate the mean of the ut123 and then we can use that value, we can use it, we can insert here, as well as what we can do is we can put 0 here, otherwise we can choose the previous marks here. So these are the few methods of handling with the missing values. So first of all, we will be counting that if it is there any missing value or null. Let's check df dot is null. So okay, data frame 3. Actually, we run for the original data frame. So as you can see, yes, here we are having the null values. Here we are having the missing values. So it is showing true because we have run this. So this is for checking, for counting the not counting, for checking missing values. So now let's count how many values are there. So count missing values. So we will use the sum function here with the is null function. So we can count how many missing values we are having. In name we are having 0 missing value, ut 0 missing value. In maths we are having 1 missing value, and in English also we are having 1 missing values. So this is how we can find out the missing values, how you can handle them, how you can replace it. I already told you that either you can use the previous value, you can calculate the average or mean of the already present values, as well as you can replace it with the with 0 also. So in this lecture, in our today's lecture, we have discussed about the descriptive statistics, which I already told you, that uh, like counting the aggregation, sorting, group by, indexing, pivot table, missing values, all this part we have discussed in our today's lecture. So I hope everyone has enjoyed this video. So thank you. Have a nice day.